I would always recommend you apply yourself. How many did you apply to?
I applied to 3.
And how many of them took you?
Just one. University of
One.
Potsdam.
Hello guys, welcome once more today. I am here with my friend Olamide. I'll let Olamide introduce herself briefly.
Hi everyone, I am Olamide, a student of University of Potsdam, and I'm rounding off my studies and masters in biochemistry and molecular biology. I did biochemistry in my bachelor's, so I felt going for a master's in biochemistry and molecular biology would give me an in-depth knowledge of the course basically, and of course there are also some interesting prospects after the course basically. How did I get that? I had some couple of friends who were already studying in Germany. So they told me about that, so I went to daad.de. So there I was able to filter the courses with what I've done, and I also wanted a free tuition university. And I saw University of Potsdam as one of the universities, and I saw I needed to learn the language to like
That's true.
I just had to go to Goethe back in Nigeria, Goethe Institute, where I started my German classes, and so I actually studied B2, and I actually have the B1 and German certificate. So when I had my A2, I just had to apply with my other university documents. Then I got the admission.
Did you apply only to Potsdam or to other universities?
Yeah, I applied to other universities, not just biochemistry, but something related to that.
Okay.
For some of the universities, I had to do some exams back in Nigeria, like some entrance examinations.
Yeah, I hate that. Like, I don't know why when I was applying, I would always skip those schools, I wanted a school that, one, I wouldn't apply through uni assist. I can apply directly to the university. And then two, that there's no taking an exam before, like during the whole application process. I wanted something simple. And I applied to 7 schools. How many did you apply to?
I applied to 3.
And how many of them took you?
Just one. University of Potsdam.
Which other schools did you apply to?
I applied to FAU, Friedrich Alexander University in Erlangen.
Yeah.
That's in Bayern.
Yeah.
Then I also applied to Freie Universität in Berlin.
Yeah.
So actually, after the application, I was asked to submit some supplemental documents like the course list of what I'd done
before.
So after that, they said, for what I did in the university
does not fit into
the end curriculum.
Yeah, I had the same issues because I also studied biochemistry from the University of Illinois, and then I think one of the first schools I applied to was that Free University of Berlin. I applied also for biochemistry, masters in biochemistry, and then I got the same feedback. So I sent them that course information as well, and then they got back to me. I was like, okay, your biochemistry in Nigeria does not fit into our biochemistry here, so for that they didn't give me admission. It's kind of tricky because not every school does that. If you're coming from like very specific study backgrounds and you want to continue in that path also abroad, then maybe it makes sense to think about the universities that you apply to, and to also keep in mind that the subject combination from your home country may not necessarily fit in to the one abroad.
Relating to uni assist, I also was trying to skip the part of payments and all, but interestingly, University of Potsdam, at that time, I don't know, maybe they had a partnership or something, so they pay for the international students.
Oh, they pay?
Yeah. So even if you have to apply through uni assist, you're not paying any dime.
That's interesting.
For most international students studying at the University of Potsdam,
of
course, I believe international students actually apply through uni assist to University of Potsdam, but I mean, to the best of my knowledge, I think they don't pay for the application.
Even up till now?
I am not quite certain, but I know for all international programs. So I don't know now how it's done.
Okay. Would you recommend that, prospective students apply via an agent or to apply themselves?
It depends, basically. It depends on how much time you have.
Yeah.
It depends on the resources you have available to you. And then, as a person, I would say that it's always good that you apply yourself, so you know what you wrote in there, you know what you did while you're applying.
And what you get.
Yeah, so if there's any question, you're able to, answer at any point in time. Yeah,
it depends on who you are as a person, your time. Some people who are working like full time, they may not necessarily be able to, have enough time to apply and go through the rigorous application process. So it makes sense, of course, to want to outsource that. But if you have the time, you have the means, I would always recommend you apply yourself. Why? Because amongst other things, it also helped when you go for your visa interview. From my own personal experience, you won't believe it. I was asked which courses will I take in that university, which course would I take in the first semester and the second semester, which for me was crazy because what if I had not read those things? How would I know? I would always recommend, if you can, apply yourself and go through the process. It's not difficult, it only takes time.
That's true.
Could you say a bit about the masters in biochemistry, and you said it's biochemistry and molecular
Biology.
Well, what's the major course content?
I mean, so basically, there are just two compulsory subjects that we have to do, and and that's just state of the art, and that comprises of three different courses, which is biochemistry, cell biology, and genetics. Basically,
Okay.
it's just 3-1, and you have to pass. And in Germany, for you to pass, you need a 4.0, and
At
which is
least.
like a D. We have also bioinformatics, and that's
real?
yeah. We can't exempt these courses. For us to graduate, we need to do these courses. Interestingly, actually, I mean, the way the world is turning into now, everything is technology, and that's why the need for bioinformatics.
Bioinformatics comes in.
So, I mean, if you had done statistics in your bachelor's, maybe you might be able to find it interesting or find it easy to, grapple with. But nonetheless, it's now based on coding. So it's not just what you did on paper. You need to, practice it on programming software and things like
I
that.
feel like in Germany now, the direction it's going, you can't do anything without IT, some kind of IT skills. There's always a bit of coding.
Then thereafter, you can actually choose. You can select the courses you want to do until you make them 90 credit points. I mean, the
Okay.
regular period of study is 4 semesters.
And the good thing is, even if you take longer than the normal study period, it does not negatively affect your grade.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Yeah, it does not negatively affect your grade. So I always recommend international students know your competence, know the other things you have to do, and if you need to work, it's okay. Extend the study program by 1 semester or by 2 semester, so you can take few courses, have time to work, socialize, learn about the language, and just live a life. It does not have to be all about studying. I feel like maybe at the master's level, it goes way beyond just studying. So what can one do after studying this master's in biochemistry and molecular biology? What are you looking forward to?
I, as a person, I'm looking forward to doing a PhD in the biotech industry, basically. You could do PhD anywhere, maybe in industry, in the academia, in the research institute, just as you wish. Then you could also work in the biopharma industries and also biotechs. I mean, there are a lot of job opportunities that you can also do in the biotech, basically.
Okay. Which one would you recommend? To do a PhD within academia, research institute, or industry? What do you think?
They all have their pros and cons. Interestingly, I was speaking with a senior friend who happens to be also a PhD holder, and he works in the biopharma, and he said that basically it actually depends on what you want.
Yeah.
Do you want high level of supervision? If you want to do that, then you need to work in the academia.
Academia, yeah.
Then it also depends on, okay, do you want to work with the state of the art equipment? I mean, you would more likely to find, of course, I mean, this is Germany, so everywhere is
To find.
you would actually get
Yeah.
you get state of the art equipment, and also you would also get I mean, there are a lot of regulations basically, so but nonetheless, for you to have the most advanced equipment, probably you would say that's more likely in the industry
Yeah.
compared to the university.
Okay.
And it also depends on, okay, the pay. I mean, in the industry you are paid more compared to the university or the research institute. But nonetheless, there is more supervision in the research institute and in the industry, and also there is this. You're able to publish more, to the best of my knowledge, and I stand to be corrected here.
Okay.
You're able to publish more papers if, there's high tendency of you being able to publish more papers in the research institute or in the universities compared to the industry.
I think also, besides the fact that you get more pay in the industry, like maybe better equipment, and then in the academia and research institute, maybe you get more supervision. Another thing that one needs to think about is also the type of job, what kind of contract you get. To the best of my knowledge, maybe things have changed. I know that within academia and also research institute, you always get like a limited contract. And what that simply means is you get maybe for 1 year, 2 years, which has to be extended every time the contract ends.
Right.
So it's like you're a researcher or PhD candidate, and you're always thinking, okay, will my contract be extended or not? So you always have this feeling. Of course, as a PhD student, it's for the whole period of your PhD studies, you know. But afterwards, if you do want to stay back there, go to the research, or go to the industry, I personally would recommend for international students. Um, I think there are more potentials for you in the industries because there you also not only gain your PhD, but also the tendency of getting a permanent contract is also high there, and you also gain like practical industrial experience or work experience.